Mabuhay, everybody. What a fantastic win that was last night. Early morning for you, I know. Hope you're all not too exhausted, but you've had a Sunday to recover. Anyway, Coach Dan has done me a resume of exactly what Eala needs to be doing in order to beat Muchova tomorrow when we go live again. Please join us. Click the subscribe button and you can be told about when we're going to appear. So, after her impressive straight sets victory over Magdalenette, Alex Eala finds herself in the fourth round of consecutive WTA 1000 events. This is further evidence that Alex Eala's game continues to improve, and she is becoming more and more confident, competing at the highest level in professional tennis. Next up for the young Filipina star is the 13th seed from Czechoslovakia, Karolina Muchova. As you would expect at this stage of a big event, you are going to be playing a top player. Karolina Muchova, on recent form, is a top 10 player. Her world ranking puts her just outside the top 10, but her 2026 form is one of the best. She has an 84% win record this year, losing only 3 matches to date. She won the WTA 1000 event in Doha, beating Victoria Mboko in the final. Her only defeats have been against the world numbers 1, 2, and 4. Therefore, putting succinctly, Alex Eala is the underdog and is not expected to win this match. But we know what that Catipanera does with those expectations. However, if you look a bit deeper into Karolina Muchova's game, there are reasons for optimism, and Alex Eala definitely has a chance at causing an upset. Muchova has all the shots, her service consistent, and a weapon. Based on all the stats over the past 52 weeks, you will see on the face of it very few weaknesses. Starting with her serve, she holds her service games 76.8% of the time. This stat on its own puts her at the world number 3. She wins 68% of her first service points and almost 50% of her second service points. Muchova is winning 61.5% of all her service points. Alex Eala will not get as many break point chances in this match as in her first 2 matches in Miami. Karolina Muchova likes to come forward and win her points at the net. She will sometimes follow up a good serve by looking to play a deep approach shot, looking to win the point with a volley at the net. Of all points she has played, 10% have resulted in her coming to the net. This is above average on tour. When she comes to the net, she wins 72% of the points, so Alex Eala needs to be ready for this tactic and look to counter with her passing shots or lobs over her backhand side. Karolina Muchova favours her forehand. This is the dominant shot from which she wins 34% of her points. Compare this to her backhand side, which wins only 10% of her points. This is the first potential area for Muchova's game that Alex can exploit. Karolina Muchova's backhand. She has 2 go-to shots on this wing. Her topspin backhand is played with 2 hands, but she will regularly play a slice backhand with 1 hand. The variation requires a change of grip, and on fast courts, this provides an extra challenge. Alex Eala has to play the majority of her shots to Muchova's backhand. She also needs to try to push her deep in the court by playing with depth and ideally more topspin. Muchova does not like playing opponents who play with aggressive, heavy topspin, especially to her backhand. This is in part due to her wrist injury in the 2023 at the US Open. She went on to have surgery in February 2024 and required nearly 9 months off. Although she is clearly fully recovered, her tendency now is to play her double backhand down the line rather than cross court. And this could be to do with the surgery and the fact that the wrist movement required to go cross court is not as easy. 24.4% of all her winners come from her backhand down the line, and this is a shot Alex Eala has to counter. 2 players who have a great winning record against Muchova are Coco Gauff and Iga Swiatek, both of whom Alex has beaten. Both have won their last 5 meetings against Muchova. They have successfully pushed Muchova back into her backhand corner, playing shot after shot deep to this side of the court. Muchova will resort to using her slice backhand or her double-handed backhand down the line. This exposes her court position, allowing the opponent to create a big open space in the forehand wing to hit into or play a drop shot or even go back behind Muchova as she desperately tries to get back into position towards the center of the court. In 2025, one of Karolina Muchova's poorest results was against Varvara Gracheva in Cincinnati. Gracheva ranked outside the top 70 at the time, and she won in straight sets by deploying a similar tactic. Heavy topspin ground strokes directed towards Muchova's backhand is not a style of tennis Muchova enjoys. Both Goff and Swiatek are great players, but their form in general over the past 6 months has been poor by their standards. Yet both players have beaten Muchova in this period. Alex Eala would be wise to watch some of these matches and see how uncomfortable they have made Muchova by pushing her back behind the baseline with deep topspin ground strokes. The other key requirement is to be able to defend your side of the court when Muchova pushes forward trying to win points at the net. It is important you like a target if you are going to beat Muchova. You have to be ready for her to come forward and pass her or play good defensive lobs. At 5'11" tall, Muchova is not easy to lob, so you need to pass well. Alex Eala has excellent down-the-line shots from both wings, so this is another reason for optimism. The final stat worth consideration is Muchova's winners to unforced errors ratio. She does not make many mistakes. Her percentage of unforced errors is less than Ariba Sabalenka's at 15.2. Alex Eala's is good, but sits at 17.8. However, Muchova does not hit as many winners as many of the other players inside the top 20. Over the last 52 weeks, she's hitting just over 14% across all the points she has played. Even more interesting is that of those winners, only 3.5% are from her backhand side. If Eala can get the balance right between directing her shots to Muchova's backhand whilst occasionally going down the opposite wing, this could provide her with many points. Alex Eala can expect Karolina Muchova to play a strong match. However, she will not overpower Alex from the back of the court. Alex has to try and impose her impressive shot-making from the back of the court onto Muchova and try to dictate the points early on. Sustaining good depth and pushing Muchova back behind the baseline will be the key to her success. She will need to hold her serve as well as she did against Linette. Serving well and exposing Muchova's tendency to slice her backhand with less pace or over-rely on her down-the-line backhand could allow Alex to dictate points on serve. But she will only be able to do this from a high first serve percentage. Relying on her second serve will ultimately allow Muchova to take control of more of the points. So getting her first serve in will be a must to secure a victory. Alex has to be ready for Muchova coming to the net. She will sometimes try to sneak into the net mid-rally to utilize her power net game as a surprise tactic. Alex must also be wary of getting stuck to the baseline or behind it during a rally because Muchova will use her drop shot more than most. It is important that Alex surprises Muchova in kind by sometimes taking the ball out of the air and the occasional drive volley, especially if she sees Muchova using the slice backhand from behind the baseline. This will be a slower paced shot that Alex could turn the tables on Muchova by sneaking into the net herself. Finally, to win, Alex Eala is sometimes going to have to defend and make Muchova play one more shot. If she can keep the ball low when Muchova comes to the net and force her to volley from behind the height of the net, she will occasionally win the odd unexpected point that could make the difference between breaking the Muchova serve or not. In summary, Alex has to do the following: expose the Muchova backhand, maintain a good depth on return, and during rallies serve well, high percentage of first serves. Hit great passing shots, or at least make the volleying difficult with shots that force Muchova to volley from below the height of the net. Enjoy the opportunity, play with freedom. Alex has nothing to lose and should go out and just commit to every shot, like the Catapanera she is. Overall, if these two players played 10 matches at present, Muchova would probably win 7 or 8 of them. Alex Eala would win 2 or 3. However, the match is only played once, and Alex Eala does have a realistic shot. Of course, she has to play her best tennis for the majority of the match. She has to create the scoreboard pressure and make Muchova feel uncomfortable. Alex Eala has done this before in Miami. She needs a similar level of performance on Monday just to do it again. Just go for it, Alex. Laban, Alex!